Good day, everyone. Welcome to Code and Commentary. James Hicks here. It's been a minute, I know, but listen, I have some winners sitting behind the scenes. I talk about companies a lot. As you see from the shirt, I advocate. I don't like the word influence. You know that I like to advocate. And Captions AI is a platform, is an organization, is a team, is a tool that I've been talking about probably since day zero. They launched, and I've been a subscriber for a long time. They are really focused on providing AI powered tools to allow creators to create studio quality videos anywhere, anytime, very quickly. I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna let them talk. If you got any questions, you guys know how to do it. Come with your cues in the comment section. But let's get in here. So let me bring in two of the coolest kids in the class right now. Two of the coolest cools in the class. Eli and Mara, how are you doing today? Welcome to Code and Commentary.
Doing great. Happy to be back in school. It's been a while.
No heckling from the back of the room, please. That's my job. That's what I do. So we won't want to have you doing that. Man, let's go ahead and get into it. I'd like to first talk about your roles with the company. So if someone could first kind of tell the origin story of Captions, and then if you could tell what your roles are with the company, because you are very active, not just in the company, but also from the community perspective as well, if you don't mind. We'll go
Yeah.
lady. We'll go ladies first, Eli. You know, you just stepped in there. My God, this guy. We'll go ladies first.
Well, I can touch first a little bit on the origin story of Captions, the vision and the mission. I think, as you mentioned, James, Captions is an AI-powered app, but the idea behind that is video editing has such a steep learning curve. It can be really complicated, really intimidating. And so the idea behind Captions is that it makes it really accessible. Anybody can edit a video. Things that used to be really complicated can now be done in the tap of a button. And so it's kind of just evening the playing field for any video editors or any wannabe video editors to come and create content and share it really easily. Do you want to touch on anything
No,
else?
I mean, well said. I mean, a little bit more about the history. So what Mara was saying was our two co-founders, Dwight and Gaurav, were talking about this problem. Gaurav came from Snap and was a product and engineering person there. So he was seeing this firsthand, and the two of them worked previously together. So they actually started a social media company. So where we are today is truly like a pivot, like many tech companies, but we've been doing what we've been doing for about 3 years, but it's all about telling a story. And just like your shirt says, advocate, we're advocating for the creators, right? I mean,
Yeah.
there's so many tools out there and there's so many platforms. We're really just trying to make it as easy as possible to reduce friction and let creators tell their story.
I love it, and that's really so. All right, folks, listen. I'm not paid by the company. I got some.
As much as he wishes.
Yeah.
We are
I have asked. I have asked, but I do got swag, so I will put that out there. So I'm drinking from the Captions Kool-Aid. But I will say again that the usability, accessibility, all of those adjectives, right, that I've seen, and I've researched a ton of tools out there that do this thing, right, to some degree. This one, I want to give you guys your kudos on just iterations so quickly. That makes sense. Not just doing something to do something. So I hope some of the engineering team are listening or going to watch this replay as well. But every time that I see Eli put out a post or Mara put out a post on LinkedIn, it's actually something that matters, right? In terms of the functionality piece. So, I mean, let's talk a little bit about that. I mean, it's like you're perish the thought listening to the community in terms of what creators want when it comes to and it's more than just creating clips. That's why I titled this "Making Your Content Go Beyond the Clip." Talk a little bit about why is it because of the history of coming from a social platform, coming from Snap? How did you guys just focus in on the community and the users as opposed to just engineers creating something for engineers?
That's a great question. I mean, I guess you also asked earlier our roles. So Eli is the head of customer experience, and I'm the community manager here. So we specifically, our roles are to kind of bridge that gap and make sure the community and the actual users' voices and feedback are heard. I think that, to be honest, Gaurav and Dwight are really smart, and they understand that a product can only be as good as it is useful. And so like we were a team of I think 15, maybe less, when I joined. And I feel like a lot of companies don't bring community managers in until much later once they realize like there's too many people or we need help. But instead it was like a very early person to bring in to be like, we want to hear what the community is actually saying. How are they actually using the app? What would they like to see? And it's just been like a very big part of the process here in the product roadmap. Eli and I are always collecting feedback. When we say that we're sharing it with the team, we really are. When we're talking to people multiple times a week, we're kind of bringing in these requests, this feedback, and we're like, we're the advocates. We're really pushing and we're asking for what users are asking for. And yeah, you can probably talk more
for reference, when she said we were 15, we're now 55. So
yes.
just in like just about 1 year, we grew from 15 to 55, and over 30 of them are engineers. So we started off on iOS. We basically had a front end iOS, a back end. Now we have Android, we have desktop, we have machine learning. So there's just a lot more to the product. And I think building out and understanding our Android customers different than iOS customers, or our mobile customers different from desktop customers is, on mobile, we're more focused on short form and vertical videos. On our desktop app, it's longer form, horizontal. So I think taking the feedback that Mara and I both, aggregate, she's hearing from the community at large. I'm hearing mostly from customers who are reaching out to our customer support team. And then managing all that by keeping documentation up to date and learning where there's areas for improvement.
That's an interesting point, because that answers a question that I asked earlier for parity across the platforms. And you just mentioned, so now I understand why you didn't give me a full answer until now. Oh, okay. I was like, is the guy ignoring me? I'm trying to ask for some parity across the platform from mobile to desktop. But that makes sense now. Social, short form, maybe the vertical on the mobile, and then chop it up by long, like this, 45-minute, 60-minute sessions on the desktop. Okay.
It's that, and it's also, if we were to build the same features on iOS, desktop, and Android, and launch them at the same time and create a unified project file type, we would move so much slower, because obviously there's different requirements. So we said, well, should we build everything at the same time in the same order and make them compatible? Or should we launch more net new features, see which ones are the most popular, and then come back and add those to the other platforms? So we totally understand that being able to log out and log in, or log in on an iPad and log in on desktop and see your project there, is really important. There are some other things we can do that aren't project syncing, which might be, syncing your templates or syncing some other project settings that don't necessarily need to be projects. But it's one of our biggest areas for improvement, which the team is fully aware of. But we took that hit and said, let's just launch more features, and hopefully the customers who appreciate that will stick with us and work through us on that. I mean, I think most customers are using a single platform. They've chosen that they're mobile, or they've chosen that they're desktop. But as we get into more enterprise clients, it will be more important. We know that.
Oh, maybe I'm just an odd egg or something, because I was all over the desktop. I still am, right? I prefer the desktop for the most part, because I can then start integrate and this is just for me again. I'm a weird nut, but integrating some of the other functionality with other tools that I have. But I would love to get to here's my feature request, my roadmap request. I would love to be able to get rid of everybody else, almost everybody else, and just use captions. Man, if I can have you as my, not just my short form creator, my caption creator, my AI B-roll creator. You see where I'm going, right?
Yeah.
I'm throwing these softballs too, because I know where the product and the company is, but that seems to be really where you're going. More of a full-fledged editor, more of a full-fledged content creating platform, as opposed to, again, just something that creates the 30, 60, 90-second vertical or horizontal clips. Is that right?
I think there's so many tools out there that are single feature tools, right? You have your AI shorts or long form to short form extraction. You have just captions. You have just eye contact or just denoise. There's all these like single feature tools where you end up shooting your video, importing, checking the box, exporting, importing, import, as it goes on. And I think the company started as a feature, right? We added captions. That's how we got the name. But we are turning more into a platform. And the idea of the three parts of production, the pre-production, production, and post-production, that's changing with AI. I think pre-production used to be you would get into a writer's room or you'd work on your own and write a script. Then you'd actually set up your lighting and your mics and your camera and your talent, and you would shoot, and then you would fix it in post, as everyone says. So you had those three different platforms and three different parts of the content creation process. And I think what we'd like to do is shorten each one and more seamlessly move from one to the other so that the pre-production could be helped with AI, script generation. The production could be helped with using our teleprompter or even using some of the stuff that we're launching shortly, which is some sort of like digital version of yourself or an avatar or ad creation. And then the post-production, which is the hardest and most time-consuming part, is the actual editing and Premiere or Final Cut. AI do those tedious things for you. So can we do 90% of your editing for you? And then you look back and say, 5 years ago, the pre, the post, the production and the post took 2 days, let's say. Can we cut that down to a couple of hours or a couple of minutes? And then you can focus more on the storytelling. Or if quantity is what you're after, you can do so seamlessly or without the help of paying contractors or additional tools. So yeah, all the people that used to help you as adjacent editors or videographers or people that had single jobs, you can do a lot of that now. I mean, think about Photoshop and Canva. You have to pay someone to create a flyer for you. Now you can do it yourself. And that's what we really want to do for video.
I love that. And as no, I was going to say, as cheap as some of us are, as frugal as we, as a solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, right? Folks that are within the digital content creation space. Money is a very conscious thing, right? Revenue and things of that nature. So if I can avoid 8 subscriptions to do 8 things, and I can just have one that does a whole lot of things. Okay, now we're getting into my world.
For a minute, James, talk about music creation.
Yeah.
15 years ago, you used to have to book studio time and actually record in a studio. Maybe 25 years ago, 15 years ago, you can do it at home with a little difficult. Then GarageBand came out, then the iPhone came out. What used to be limited to just a small number of people and cost tens of thousands of dollars, I can lay down a track right now.
See, now he's showing off. See, now he's showing. That's that New York in him, folks. He's showing off. Okay.
Same thing for photo editing, for music creation. We're trying to do that for video editing.
I love that. I love it. Folks, I see you jumping in. Listen, don't be afraid to ask questions to the team from Captions. Put a Q in it so I can make sure that I get it out there. Rich vibes. I see you, brother. Let me. I guess, Mara, let me ask you this, because you are very, again, active from the community side. What are some of the, I'm going to start challenges first, and then we'll go into values or something like that. What are folks asking for that is almost a blatant request that the community wants to be within the platform that isn't there today? I mean, what are you getting the most IMs and DMs and BCCs on this? And why can't Captions do X, Y, and Z? Or are you even seeing that?
I think the biggest thing that we see is what you already touched on and asked for at the start of this stream is more like cross-platform parity. So as we were all touching on, like our desktop app just launched in September and it's come a long way, but it doesn't have quite as many tools as iOS. And we actually just launched a beta version of our Android app. And it's just kind of what the iOS app was when we first launched. It's really just adding captions. And so I think most of our users just want the full app every single place that they can get it. From this computer to this phone to this iPad, they just want to be able to edit anywhere, anytime, which we hear and I think we really are working on. I think we're also trying to actually work on things that maybe people aren't asking for directly, but they are asking for more broadly. So like some of these AI tools, like no one asked us for a tool where you could just put in a script and an entire ad is made for you with an AI human.
Yeah, listen, we're going to get into that. Yeah, we're going to get
Yeah, so it's like sometimes these things aren't being asked for, and yet that completely changed the game for so many users, and we've had like amazing feedback on that. So I think it's also taking some of these requests and this feedback and maybe not delivering it just as one more little tool or one more little thing. We're trying to think outside of the box, and offer things people don't even realize could exist.
Gaurav calls it we've got our roadmap and we've got our secret roadmap.
Yes.
I think the roadmap is full of features and tools and buttons that people are doing that in another tool and said, well, if you added this, I can stop using that, which we would love to do. Then I think there's a thing where I'm sure it's misappropriated here, but Ford was famously said if someone asked for what they wanted, they would say a faster horse, and he said, well, I'm going to build a car, right? So like, what are the things that people are asking for?
Yeah,
totally, we should build them, but then we just become Adobe Premiere or Final Cut or our competitors. So what are the things that we can build that people aren't asking for, which is a real differentiator? And we've seen time over time stuff that we've built, other competitors have copied or tried to build, but it's an interesting space to be in. The video editing, video creation, Gen AI. It's just like it's a gold rush right now.
It's a hot topic right now, right? I mean, that life in I worked for Apple for 10 years. Okay, and I've literally had one of those infamous one-on-ones with Steve Jobs. Okay, so I'm a member of the cult of Mac for forever, and I've had those experiences. And the only reason I bring that up is because I think what you guys just said is a Steve Jobsian type moment when he took the headphone jack out of the iPhone.
Yes.
We thought the man was crazy. We didn't know what we wanted or needed before we wanted it or needed it. And now I don't know anyone walking around with wired headphones anymore. Right now, the ease, the use, the functionality, all that stuff. So if you guys are thinking along those types of levels, more power to you. More power to you. Now I'm gonna keep riding with you. I'm gonna keep. I need to send 2 shirts your way.
Yeah, I'll give Gaurav the credit for that one. Yeah, he's got the vision.
I love that. So that was. I'm not gonna say that was the easy one, but more the challenge side. But what's and I'll bring this to you. Biggest value that you think today that you're bringing from the platform? What is it? Not just the flexibility? Is it not just the ease of use? Is it not just cross-platform? But Eli, what is the biggest value that you think Captions is bringing to folks within the creative space?
This may be a strange answer, but being that I run our customer support and I'm always evaluating vendors, I often pick vendors based on trajectory rather than current feature set. So, when evaluating a feature that'll help me support our customers better, I would rather go with the small startup that is truly trying to disrupt the industry rather than the incumbent that might have more features, but is probably moving a lot slower. And so if I were, choosing a platform, even if we don't have the feature that you're maybe looking for, I think to kind of answer your question, I hope that people are on board with what we're able to offer today, but also the trajectory of the company, which is a little bit of an out of the box answer, but I really believe that, not just because I work here. I really think we're moving in the right direction, and those that, entrust us with their money and their time and their business, I hope that pay dividends for them.
See, and there's no right or wrong, but I appreciate the transparency in that answer, because again, I think folks listening to this either now or in the future will say, this company actually cares about their users and the people that are actually spending their hard-earned dollars for a monthly or yearly, whatever subscription to use this platform, and entrusting Captions to do the thing for them. And you're not out there just spinning out stuff. You actually care, you actually listen. That's the actual kind of response that I was hoping to get, just wanting to hear. I kind of, again, assumed and knew, but I wanted to make sure I was dealing with the right kind of folks. I want to make sure I didn't just bring on some, I know they're in New York. I didn't want to bring in some Mets fans. I'm a Yankee guy, but I'm
a Mets fan who just went to the Yankees game last Friday. But
there we go.
But I think the other answer, and this should be table stakes nowadays, but it's not the same. I mean, listen, the fact that we're U.S. based and take privacy really seriously, I won't name names, but there's certainly a lot of companies out there that, it's a concern, and eventually something's going to happen, right? I mean,
Yeah.
there's data breaches all the time. I think there's something that we we take really good care to ensure that we're doing what we can to protect all the data and the video and your voices and all that sort of stuff here.
That's crazy that you bring that up because I'm actually looking at that's one of the topics here in my run of
Yeah.
shows that you went there. We're gonna go there. I'm not
We're
gonna
there
mention
already.
names. We're not gonna mention names either. But again, that is a huge concern right now, right? Again, just in terms of either platforms shutting down, possibly, or regulations and things of that nature. Captions
Sure.
allows you to create generative AI advertising and avatars and things of that nature. But one of the levels of the platform, security and things of that, you I guess reiterate or restate kind of what you just stated about security and privacy being front of mind within the organization.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all concerned. I think personally, I just had a call today with another vendor, and I joined Zoom, and it said this meeting is being recorded, and I said, "Can you turn off the recording?" We've moved to this state where everyone kind of assumes they're being recorded. I'm being recorded right now. I have no idea where this video is
Yeah,
going to end
listen,
up.
you all over the interweb right now,
Yeah,
brother.
yeah.
You you on
But
LinkedIn and
yeah, it's a valid concern. I think people need to make responsible choices, and then also hope for the best. I think there's no government entity or company that can't be hacked in some way. So I think it's about maybe reducing digital footprint or just making the most responsible choice that you can make. Yeah, every couple of years we kind of enter a new era of privacy. So I don't know. I'm not sure I have anything
that's
anything
all
else
right,
to
man. Hey, I
add.
tell you
It's not,
what,
I'm not prepared
I took you
expertise.
down a rabbit hole that you weren't ready for.
These are my personal opinions.
You
I'm
know,
not. I
I
call
know you
myself.
don't speak for the company. Or we'll bring it back to the tool and to the app and to the platform. But I took you down the rabbit hole because that's what I do. Um, Captions AI multi-platform. I guess I appreciate you for also looking out for our Android counterparts and brethren. And I don't know why, but I guess we got to take care of them as well. Everyone should be running Mac in their life, but they don't. Uh, Web interface or web environment, desktop environment as well, which as Mara was saying, has grown quickly. Now I'm no longer looking for feature parity. Not within the last 15 minutes. I don't care now about feature parity. Now I understand the why of the desktop. But walk us through what folks would when they go download captions today after this session. What are they going to get uh, to be able to do with the platform as I walk through the website here?
Gosh, so many things.
Yeah.
I think I think to kind of start with our two of our hero products, I would say obviously you can add captions, but also we have a translation and dubbing feature. So you can translate your captions into I think almost 30 languages, or you can dub and translate yourself or whoever's speaking in the video.
Okay, stop right there. I see again. I'm setting you up. We're not going to just blow by some of this functionality, right? We're gonna actually give some love to this bit of function. Translate your captions into how many languages? Just right out the gate.
28, 30?
I think
Come on.
yeah.
Around there, yeah.
I've played around and I've done a few languages, and I'm like, folks, listen, it is me. It's talking. The lip movement is on point. The voice is the same. I liken it to Descript's overdub feature. Right, the fact that the script has also an AI voice generation, but it's only a single language, and you can correct your ums and your ahs, and you can correct misspoken words, whatever that is. But 20 plus languages that James Hicks can be speaking in an instant from a mobile app. Okay, now I'll be quiet. I won't interrupt again. Well, I will interrupt again, but keep going.
Well, but yeah, I mean, I think you touched on it. It really sounds, if it's you or if it's someone else, it really does sound like them. So it's not distracting when you're trying to watch something. It just kind of flows naturally. And I think a big piece of that. I know this is like a big thing Mr. Beast also talks about, but you can really reach so many more audiences.
Yeah.
You're not kind of stuck in just whatever language you speak or whatever region speak your language. You can reach so many other people and so many other international crowds, which I think is huge. Right here on the screen, you have AI trim. Oh, maybe it just went away, but it's kind of like what you were just describing. So this will remove any pauses or blank spots in your video. This is an iOS only feature, but I actually use it all the time. It's really nice, and it just shortens your video. So like if you're trying to post some or like TikTok reel shorts, you want to just keep it moving. You don't want to lose anybody, and so it just cuts all those little pauses. And like I don't know if you've tried to do it manually, but it can actually be quite a tedious time.
Yes.
Process to try and like go through and like figure out exactly where the pause is, where does it stop, find the exact piece, delete it. Like I can catch myself spending hours on just that, and you literally tap the button and it does it for you. What else do we have? We have AI eye contact, which I think is also one of our really big features. So if you are recording yourself, but maybe you're reading or something, looking at something right off the screen, it will revert your eyes so that it looks like you're staring right at the camera. Which I think is a really, really cool feature. I feel like I have a lot of actor friends, so I feel like really helpful if you're trying to record an audition and you don't want to have to memorize all the lines. Really good trick.
Hack, yeah.
That's a pretty cool one. We also just have a lot of like AI tools that are they are reading the words so that they know what the point of emphasis is. So like AI Zoom will zoom in at any point of emphasis on your video. Same thing, you don't have to like add keyframes or spend forever trying to zoom in a specific spot. You just tap a button. Do you want to touch on any? There's a bunch more.
Yeah, I think like bring that all together, kind of the next phase is that you can kind of set some presets on how you'd like your video to look, and maybe you have 20 videos that you'd like to look similar. You'd like to add zoom, add title card. So not just templates for captions, but templates for video editing. So it could be a one tap, and we can apply those for you. That's really where we want to go and where we're going. Where we know how you tell us, or we know how you want to create your video, and whether it should include music, where the caption should be located. Again, the zoom, should we denoise, should we trim, and then just cutting down on that manual time and repeating it over and over again.
That's the differentiation that I wanted to get into, right? I mean, because there are a lot of point products, and shouts out to a lot of them because I work with them as well, and I advise just to some as well. So hopefully I'm not getting in trouble with anyone. I've been in trouble before, but Captions is doing different things. No one else is doing color grading. Right? Come on now, right? I mean, when you think about an app to create clips and an app to create content to go out on various multiple social platforms, to this level, to this extent, doing functionality like this right here again is kind of where I wanted folks to understand kind of the differentiation in terms of the capabilities that are out there. The auto eye contact thing, that was crazy. When it first came out, it scared me to death. I would just say because I knew I was looking like over here, and it had my eyes looking the right. It was,
and it works with glasses, which is pretty.
It does work through glasses.
Yeah. And just to add to you're talking about color and grading, things like that. I think lighting is an area where people don't have the expertise or the equipment to really have great lighting, and an area that we're focusing on over the next month or two is lighting and artificially changing the lighting even for your current view with no work. So basically, you don't have a studio, great. We can fix your background noise with denoise. You don't have good lighting, we can fix your lighting. Then there's no excuse, right? You've got your iPhone or you've got your camera. There's not that much time to set up. You don't need a best boy on set, with electrical. You don't need a key grip. Like, you got your camera, you got your audio. We'll fix it in post. Like, our app should be called "Fix It in Post."
There you go. Trademark it. Gaurav, are you watching? We're going to trademark that name right there. And you using some terms that you must come from the film industry as well, brother. You know what you okay.
An area that you were talking about, that you asked Mara about with like key features. There's one kind of anecdote which is pretty amazing. So, we get customers from all over the world, and truly all over the world. We've got a paying customer in all 176 of Apple's App Store regions.
Wow.
We heard from someone right here in the U.S. who is based in Arizona, our friend Leroy, and he told us out of nowhere, I had no idea why he was using this. He runs his own small business. I think he does home loans. And he said, I just want to let you know your app is the reason I'm engaged. And I said, what?
Please explain.
Let's get on the phone. Let's get on the phone right now. So we got on a call. I think we got a Google Meet, and he told me he met this woman. She was across the border in Mexico. They got introduced from a friend. He didn't speak Spanish. She didn't speak English, and they would use captions to record videos of themselves and dub them into the other language, and then send them on WhatsApp. And they had this relationship over the board. It's incredible, truly. I was like at tears. Yeah, I know. Every time. It was amazing. It's a true story. He said, I recorded a video and sent it to her grandmother to ask for her hand in marriage. She agreed. We get updates from them all the time. We introduced them to the New York Times. You can read about them. The article got written this Valentine's Day about these two people. If you just type in, captions, Leroy, Brenda, New York Times, you'll see the article. So, those sort of things that really makes it all worth it. I'm not going to tell everyone I'm saving the world, helping people create social media memes and content, but these are the things that for Mara and I, I love this stuff. Yeah. Maybe you can find it.
Well, I want to make sure I don't pull up. Listen, I'm going to search, but I'm not going to put it on the screen just yet. But first thing that came up was bad Leroy Brown so again, us older folks probably know about that, right? That's pretty cool. I will find that and I'll put it in the description. Let me talk about value of the platform in and of itself as well, because is there a free version?
There's a trial on.
There's a trial. Okay.
We're also potentially toying with a free version. We've been asked a lot about that. Yes.
Okay.
TBD. As of right now, no.
But you can also, across iOS and desktop and Android, you don't have to pay to use the app, only to export your video. So you can also try it, use it first and make sure you like it, it works well for you before paying anything.
And Android, while currently in beta, is also 100% free.
Oh my goodness. Make those folks pay, Okay. Anyways, but the reason I bring that up is there's value in Pro versus Max as well. And talk a little bit about what is Max and why a smaller subset of folks would want Max. The folks, well, I'll put myself in that smaller subset because let me tell you something. I'll let you talk about Max, and then I'm gonna try to bring it up on my phone here to show some products that I've created with Max. But what is Pro versus Max?
Nice.
Watch my whole iPhone just blow up again here but go ahead.
Well, Max is a more recent tier that we've added. So there's Pro and Max. Pro pretty much includes, I think, most of what an average editor would want. You can use all of the tools, export. There's no limit to how many videos you can export. Max is a tier we added that has a couple of benefits. I think it's probably more for enterprise clients. You get priority support. So if you have an issue and you write in, you're answered pretty much immediately. And we've also recently started to add some Max features. One I know you're very excited about, James, is called AI Ad Generator. So you essentially just put in a script, and you can put in some images if you want, and an ad is made for you with an AI avatar that we have in the app. And we'll be having some more Max features rolling out pretty soon.
We can't talk about them.
Yeah,
it's all good.
But there'll be more things, I think, along this line where essentially something is just made from start to finish for you without needing to record, be on camera, record your voice. Yeah.
I think if we wanted to encompass it, it's not between maybe professional and more professional. I think it's what we noticed was a lot of the content that people were creating were ad creation. So we originally thought everyone using our app was just creating content to go post on TikTok or Facebook or Reels, whatever it is. All that content is going there, but the type of content has changed over the last year and a half.
Yes.
And a few months ago, we recognized that a lot of our customer base we're using our app for ad creation, whether it be UGC generated ad or someone running their business, real estate, and whatever it might be. And so I think a lot of these max features are focused on people that are using the app for some sort of ad creation.
Exactly. And that's where I was so excited when I saw it, because again, I've got the merch, I've got the services, I've got different components outside of the coaching pieces as well, different components outside of the live stream part that it's very compelling and very interesting. Look, folks, all I did was plug in a prompt. I plugged in some assets, as in pictures of some merch, said what I wanted the ad, pointed it to a website, so pointed it to social.hicksnewmedia.com, to where the merch site is. And right out the gate, I got, come on, man. Hey. Hey. All right, so I've got 5 examples of course, I'll tweak it down a little bit more and make it more me, as opposed to just straight out of the box. But 80% of the work is done with the prompt, with the link, with a call to action, and some assets. And it's giving me what I want. Here is the captions environment on desktop that we all know and love. I've got my customized. I know my hex code by heart. So I'm that guy. I know 20557B. That's the blue that you see everywhere. So I've got all those things dialed in, and as you see from the timeline down here, can start doing more of that customization about what this looks like. And I've got my UGC avatar here. Trying to get a couple more, maybe someone that looks like me. I shaved for you, Eli. You told me that you said you needed somebody that shaved. I shaved.
That actually also brings to an interesting point. We're going to be launching something called it's our AI creator program. So you can apply now if you want. You can apply to be one of the AI creators. So pretty much anyone can apply, and you'll be able to kind of be in this marketplace where people can pay to use you, and you don't have to record something. You can someone will type in a script.
And don't worry, we have guardrails around the type of ads you can create when you're not recording your screen.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Good. Protect us from ourselves. Thank you very much. I was going to ask that when Mara mentioned that. Okay. Wait a minute.
Not anything.
Yeah.
Just think, if you do it in Vegas, you can't do it on our app. That's where we draw the line.
I just got back from Chicago. I'll be back in Vegas. I've been in Vegas every month, unfortunately, of this year thus far, and I'll be back again in the next couple of weeks. But I will be walking around, just like, hold on, is it on here? No, it's on my desktop. I was creating content using captions at an event that I hosted. I put it into a couple of other platforms to do some of the other functionality that wasn't in captions at the time, but now, again, next month when I go, all of the movement pieces, the music pieces, the AI music pieces has gotten much better as well. So again, I'm coming over into the Captions.ai bandwagon and really utilizing that. So I wanted to just show that off. So that piece right there, again, the max for creators who have products and services and just additional components to their enterprise and to their business. And take a look at it. It might make sense. It made sense for me just because it's so cool. But there we go.
James, let me ask you. I feel like we're due to ask you a question. So if you were,
let me sit up straight here. Okay, now I'm on the
hot seat. So the UGC Ad Creator. So you put in a prompt, and the person, the avatar, spoke it, and edited it, all that. Walk us through what it would take for you to actually go and find a creator. How would you get from point A to Z like we did with just a couple clicks? Just like walk us through that. How much time? How much money?
And it varies depending on the project, and it varies depending on even scale and time frame, right? Mm-hmm. Because either I can create the digital asset, like the theme, the overlay, the thumbnail, whatever the case may be, I can create that piece. But if I didn't want to, or if I wanted to have someone else come to do it, sourcing those resources, either working with folks that I've already worked with, so doing the reach out, getting on their calendar to schedule some time, or maybe working with someone else off of a Fiverr or another digital graphic design or something of that nature. They've all got varying prices that they charge for their time. Not just the end product, but I'm paying for time. I'm paying for time and expertise a lot of times, right? So pricing, you get what you pay for. So I can get someone, and no shade, but I can get someone from like the Art Institute, someone that's in class, a freshman, or I can get a student to come in and do it, or I can get someone who's long tooth in the game for years, and there is a different quality about what you get. So you get what you pay for in terms of that piece. Again, if there's some urgency in terms of if it's working with a brand, or in terms of time, how many pieces of a content matter that needs to go out, right? Do I need to have 9x16s? Do I need to have 1x1s? Do they need to go to different platforms? So all of that piece right there, all of that conversation, the behind the scenes, the administrative work before anyone actually starts tapping on a keyboard, that could be days, right?
Yeah.
That could literally be days and hours and days to get that done before you even get that piece taken care of, if you don't have all of those resources, contacts, assets like listed in a CRM or something. Lucky for me, I got them all listed in Notion. So I'm anal, like I'm very analytical like that. So I know all the folks that I've worked with in the past. But again, just going through all of that work can be tedious, can take 3 to 4 days just to do the administrative piece, then the actual work piece, then maybe the review. So it can take a week to even get something out.
Yeah. And then also the variant, right? Someone delivers you one polished video. I think what's interesting is that we can create dozens and dozens of variants. You can load it up into your Meta Ad Manager, Google Ad Manager, and run tests and say, well, this one performed 7% better. Didn't cost us anything to make an additional variant. So now we actually, it paid for itself, and a couple times over. So the different variations to me, that's what's exciting for me also. I mean, the technology itself is really cool. It's powered by our LipDub technology, which we did build internally with our machine learning team. That was our first model that we created internally. And that will allow us to power all this other, text to speech rather than speech to text, right? Speech to text is give us a video, we'll add captions. Yeah. Reverse is you give us the captions, we'll give you the person speaking. So we basically reverse engineered that. That's how everything works.
That's cool, because I thought LibDub, again, third person looking at it, I thought that was just a side project. I thought that was just something that was like a hackathon over the weekend or something, over beers. Hey, let's do something. Okay, but that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's still live. So for anyone wondering, there is an app on the App Store called LipDub. It's free to use, up to a minute long. You can dub. You can speak for a minute, and it will do an instant voice clone, so it'll sound like you speaking Spanish or French or German or Arabic or whatever it is. And there's a couple of fun ones, like you can talk Gen Z or pirate. So those ones I recommend you check out.
Old Pig Latin or whatever. See, there I go dating myself again. I should stop. I'm gonna stop while I'm ahead.
No, but this technology is really powering like the next generation of the tools that we're building. This LipDub technology has really improved quite a bit.
Love it. Let's bring this plane in, man, because I want to be cognizant of your guys' time. But because I guess I could talk to you for hours, and we just turn the cameras off and talk NDA stuff, but we don't want to do that.
Yeah. By the way, when are you going to start recording?
Uh-oh, no. Did I forget to push the button? It's been, listen, I'm an old dude. I'm pretty seasoned. I forget some things sometimes. What's next, right? Again, things that not just users, not just already subscribers, but what could folks expect coming out of the organization, not just the tool, not just Captions.ai, but again, you've talked about some varying components as well, things that you can express to the audience. What's next for short and midterm, I guess, for Captions?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, all right, I'll talk about themes without talking about any particulars. Maybe we can splice in a few. I think theme, longer videos. Longer videos has been a big request. You mentioned Descript. They do a great job. Every video podcast is edited on Descript, basically. So I think our move from vertical, short form, mobile to desktop it is just natural that over the coming months, we're going to be able to support longer videos, period. And I think just as another particular we can talk about is we are going to start offering an API. So we've had quite a few customers reach out to us and say, I don't have 10 videos, I have 10,000 videos, or I need to process 500 videos a week. And we want to be able to let customers caption or dub or lip dub or eye contact or denoise in your own environment. So you picture that you're an editing house, or you're a large company that has tons and tons of content, maybe large social media outlet, and they don't want to use our tool. It's a waste of time to use our tool. They've already got their tools, and if they can hook into our APIs, we can charge them per usage. I liken it to a straw. For those that don't know what particular APIs are, APIs are basically a straw, right? Mm-hmm. It's connected this thing to that thing, and you can use as much as you want. So yeah, I think API is really, really exciting for those customers where their infrastructure is their infrastructure. They're not changing, but they want our technology to work inside of there. So I think those are, to me, that's exciting because I'm helping to launch and support that. So if anyone's interested,
pay attention, Avid users of Avid, pay attention. Okay.
Yeah, reach out. You can send us a message, hello@captions.ai, and ask for Eli, and we'd be happy to chat with you about that. Or find us on Discord. But
awesome. Yeah, the Discord. So I'll throw the thing in the hat there for you at MR. The Discord is on fire. The community is active, and so it's very comforting to even see that you are responding to. You don't need to respond to them on the weekend, like I've seen sometime, but the fact that you do manage the community and keep us in track, in line a lot of times. But the Discord community is very active. I will put a link to that as well, so you guys can check that out. This has been selfishly more fun for me than it has been for anyone else. I don't know. Hopefully you guys had fun too, but
having a blast.
I'm drinking vodka out of my, no, it's just water out of my keg. I got to get that right. Captions AI folks, Eli and Mara are the ones who are behind the scenes running things. Who care? The executives that, they're doing whatever they do, but these are the folks that are actually engaging with vendors, that are engaging with customers, that are telling the story. I appreciate you guys. I really do.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you, James. Thanks for being an advocate for us.
I'm gonna send you some shirts, man. God, Doug, that you keep saying the right things there. Well,
it'll be like a jersey swap at the end.
Yeah.
We'll do. You'll sign yours. I'll sign mine, and then when I'm in New York in July, I'll be there. No, June to July. I don't know. I'll be there in July again.
Yes.
And we'll make something happen.
We will.
Amazing.
Awesome. You guys be good. I appreciate you, folks. If you enjoyed this content, let me know. If you did not enjoy the content, let me know. Right, that's how we get better. So, let Eli know. Yeah, at the end of the day. Appreciate you guys. You guys have a great day, and I will talk soon.